Hello and welcome to Rituals Hub. I'm Rachel. You joined me from Fiji, and today I'm going to take you through part two of the beginner's yoga series. In the last episode, we went through the sun salutations and the warm up in quite a lot of detail, and today I'm going to go through the standing postures in detail and get those locked in. So let's start. So let's start by grounding down onto our mat, lifting our sit bones, elongating the spine and rolling the shoulders back. Closing down the eyes, maybe sending the palms up to the sky. Inhaling through the nostrils and exhaling through the nostrils. Inhale and exhale. Just letting any thoughts that are popping into your head disappearing. Anything that's not serving you right now. Inhale and exhale. And when you're ready, flutter and open up the eyes. We're going to take an inhale, arms up to the sky. Interlace the fingers, rolling back the shoulders, gaze up to our fingers. Inhale and exhale. We're going to take the right hand onto the mat or the forearm and just have a nice stretch in that left side body. Just breathe in here. And on the next exhale, we're going to just sweep our arms over to the left side and take the same position over on the left. Grounding down through the sit bones to get that deeper stretch in the right side body. And just on the next exhale, just bringing the arms forward and just rolling up slowly through the spine. We're going to bring our arms out into a cactus shape. And we're going to inhale, lift our gaze and chest, and just tilt the elbows up. And exhale, just having a rounding through the back, just bringing the palms towards the mat. Inhale, gaze and chest up to the sky, really opening up into our ribs and our heart space. And exhale, rounding down the spine and just sending the palms of the hands slightly to the mat. And we're just going to have a shake of our wrists. It's really nice to warm up the wrists in yoga because we use them a lot and they can actually be quite fragile. Wrists is something definitely to be aware of as you advance in yoga and do more postures and more balances on the wrists. So really good to get into the habit of shaking them out and warming them up. And then we'll take our tabletop position. So wrists underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips. And we're going to take a flat tabletop position, backs of the feet flat onto the ground. And we're going to inhale, gaze and chest up to the sky. Exhale, rolling through the spine, gaze through the knees. Inhale, take the gaze and chest up to the sky. Exhale, rolling through the base of the spine, rolling round. Gaze through the knees. Doing this with your own breath now. Always inhaling and exhaling through the nose. We're going to take it back into a wide-legged child's pose again. So knees to the outside of the mat, sinking back into the hips, walking the arms forward, maybe taking a little bend in the arms and the forehead onto the ground, and just taking some really nice deep breaths here. We're going to inhale through the nose, sigh it out through the mouth. And then just raising up a little bit, walking the hands a little bit further forward. We're going to sink the arms down all the way onto the mat and elevate the hips just to get a really nice stretch in our underarms and into the shoulders. It's like a child's pose, but just a different stretch. And when you're ready, coming up onto all fours again. We're going to tuck our toes, push up through the wrists for our first downward dog. Option throughout this practice, if you need to take a rest, to take downward dog or child's pose. But for now, downward dog, we'll grip the mat with our fingers, roll our shoulders back, send our hips up to the sky, heels down to the ground or as close to as possible, gaze through the ankles, finding stillness in your downward dog or taking a little walk of the dog, pedaling out the feet. Taking some releasing breaths here. Inhale through the nose, sighing it out through the mouth. And when you're ready, walking the feet up to the top of the mat to meet the hands. We're going to take hands to shins, gaze forward, flat back. Exhale, Uttanasana. Forward fold here, grabbing the elbows either side. Maybe taking a little bend in the knees so the knees are into the chest. Having a rock side to side. And then pushing up through the soles of the feet, through the legs, rolling up from the base of the spine. So the head is the last thing to arrive. We're going to take our arms up to the sky. Inhale, exhale, take our arms to the side for Tadasana. Rolling the shoulders back, grounding down through the corner, all four corners of the feet. Inhale, we're going to take our arms up to the sky, gaze up to the sky. Exhale, we're going to forward fold for Uttanasana. Inhale, hands to the shin, looking forward. Exhale, planting the hands around the sides of the feet. We're going to step back into our version of plank. So that's high plank or plank on the knees, whatever feels comfortable for you today. I'm going to take high plank. If you're taking high plank, shoulders are over the wrists, pulling in through the glutes, tuck it, the weights in the toes. Inhale, and we're going to exhale together, whatever version of plank we're in, for baby cobra. Untucking the feet, planting the hands into the ground, inhaling and raising our chest up to the sky. Exhale, just send the forehead to the mat. One more time, opening up through the chest. Inhale, gaze up to the sky. Exhale, taking the chest and the forehead to the mat. We're going to plant our toes on the mat, untuck our toes on the mat, push up through the hands or onto the knees for downward facing dog. Pedaling out through the feet, just feeling the new warmth in the body that we've created. And we're going to walk our feet all the way to the top of the mat. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, rolling up through the spine. Arms up to the sky. Exhale, Uttanasana. Oh, hello, Shaka. Just grounding down through the feet. We've completed our first sun salutation. We'll run through one more round. Inhale, our arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, looking forward. Planting the hands on the ground and stepping back into high plank or plank on your knees. Inhale. This time we're going to take it down into cobra. For anyone who wants to take cobra, or option 2, take it down to upward facing dog. So you take it about half the way. You plant the backs of the feet into the ground, arms straight, chest up to the sky, keeping the glutes and the inner thighs together, pelvis pushed down onto the mat. Inhale, exhale, tucking the toes, pushing up through the wrists for downward facing dog. Pedaling out through the feet. Inhaling, exhaling, just taking a still downward facing dog. And on the next exhale, walking the feet up to the top of the mat and rolling up through the base of the spine. And taking Tadasana again. Rolling the shoulders back, inhale. Exhale, we're going to take our left foot back about 3/4 of the way down the back of the mat for Virabhadanasana or Warrior 1. So to position our feet for Warrior 1, our toes on the right foot are all pointing to the front of the mat. Our toes on our left foot, the big toe is pointing to the corner of the left side of the mat, at the top of the mat. So it's about 90 degrees turned out. And we've got a little bit of a, imagine there's a string, or imagine there's a piece of band about this thick that's going down the line of your mat, and your feet should be on either side of that. So that's the positioning of our feet. And we're going to inhale and exhale, we're going to sink down into our feet. And we're going to raise our arms up to the sky. Inhale and exhale, we're going to sink lower into this position. And we're also going to open our chest up to the sky. So this is really good for balance, this position. Really good for strengthening in the legs. Inhale and exhale, we're going to rotate that back foot on the mat parallel to the back of the mat for our Warrior 2. I'm actually just going to switch sides. So our Warrior 2, we've got the foot at the back of the mat parallel to the mat. We've got our front toes facing forward. And the back of our heel should be in line with the middle part of that back left foot. That's the easiest version, that's the better version for balance. A bit more of an advanced version, you could have the back of the heel in line with the back of the foot, but for now we'll take the front heel in line with the middle of the left foot. So we'll start with a straight leg. We're going to inhale our arms open, and we're going to exhale, we're going to bend that right leg, take the shift of the weight over into that right arm and leg. Gaze to your drishti, which is a point of focus, to the middle of your right finger. Rolling the shoulders back. Inhale for a little bit of lift, and exhale, see if you can get deeper. So this is a really nice stretch to open up into the hips, into the groin and the hips. It's really good for balance, really good for strengthening in the legs. Holding the arms up can be a little bit tricky if you're just starting in this position, but just breathe into the stretch and just focus on your breath. Inhale and exhale here. Imagine you're against a wall, and also put special attention on to putting pressure onto the outside of that left foot. And we're going to inhale to come up to triangle pose. Exhale, we're going to take the right arm down the inside of the right leg. So for triangle pose, we're going to keep the feet in the same position as warrior two. Take our arm down. This is another good one for balance, another good one for strengthening the legs. The feet are in the same position as warrior two, so put emphasis on the outside of that left foot. And breathe here. Option as well, actually, to take the gaze to the right hand for balance while you're learning this posture. If you want a little bit more advanced, take that gaze up to the left arm. Inhaling and exhaling here, and on the next exhale, coming up to what that straight triangle leg. We're going to roll, windmill the arms round, framing that right foot, and we're going to step it up to the top of the mat. Now, all standing sequences usually feature some sort of standing balance. Today we're going to do tree. So we're going to take the weight over onto our left leg, and we're going to, first of all, we're going to find a point of focus, our drishti. So find something in the room that you're in now that's not moving, that you can focus your gaze on throughout this position. So going to shift the weight over onto the left foot. We're going to take the right foot up either to the ankle, to the calf, or if you're feeling like a challenge today, up to the thigh, not on the knee because it's unsafe for the knee. So we're going to take it here, first step. Second step, taking our arms up to the sky. Inhaling here. With whichever part of the leg you find comfortable putting that foot on. Ooh. My tree's a little bit wobbly today on my left side. Inhale and exhale, release that leg. So at the top of our mat, we're going to rinse it out with a vinyasa. Inhale, arm up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, planting the hands around the feet. We're going to step back to our version of plank. Inhale, exhale, taking the chaturanga down into cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, pushing up through into a downward facing dog. Inhaling here and exhaling here, just observing the difference in the side of the body. Taking that left leg now to the front of the mat, and just turning that right foot out by 90 degrees. We're going to take warrior one again. Oh, hello, puppy. This is my little puppy Pasha. Inhale, the arms up to the sky. Interlace the fingers. Exhale, sinking into the legs. Raising that chest up to the sky and finding your balance. Just random dogs walking in. They're not random, they're our dogs. And on the next exhale, we're going to swivel that back foot parallel to the back of the mat. I'll change positions again. For our warrior two, our Virabhadanasana 2. So remember, we've got the back heel in line with the middle of the back foot. Arms are open. Inhale and exhale. Let's take the weight over into that left leg, left arm. Imagine there's a wall behind you. Put in weight on the outside of the right foot. Inhale for lift. Exhale to sink deeper. Taking the focus to the middle finger in the left hand, the drishti. Inhale to come up. Exhale to take it down in the little thing. Down to the inside seam of the left leg, using your block or book at home for guide. Rolling the shoulder back, gazing up at the right arm, really grounding down into the feet. Your legs and your feet are the whole base of this posture, so strengthening them is really important for yoga. Inhale and exhale, come up into standing. Windmill the arms to frame that left foot and taking the right leg to meet the left, rolling up through the spine. We're going to take tree on our right leg now. So finding your point of focus, your drishti again, taking the weight over into the right leg. We're going to take the left foot to the calf or to the thigh, wherever feels comfortable for you. Raising our arms up to the sky and breathe in. Now this might mean a lot of wobbling for you at home, and that's fine. You probably don't take many balance postures. Release that left leg and we'll rinse it out with one more vinyasa. Inhale, arms up to the sky, gaze up to the hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, planting the hands around the feet. Step back to your version of plank. Inhale, exhale, lowering it down onto the mat for cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, pushing up through the wrists and into a downward facing dog. Hi, Shakaboom. And from our downward facing dog, we're just going to walk the feet to the middle of the mat, walk the hands back and take a seated position. Nice. Okay, so from the seated position, we're going to take boat. If you did the last tutorial, then we did it in the part 1. So it's really good for core strength. So planting the feet into the ground, sit bones into the ground, arms out, shoulders back. We're just going to slow it down for 5 seconds. So we're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Just come into your natural breath. And we're going to take a boat again, this time with the added option of raising the feet up off the ground for a little bit more of a challenge, only an option. We're going to lower down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Coming back up into a seated position. We're going to take this left leg straight out on the floor. We're going to take the right foot over the left thigh. We're going to take our right arm back behind us, and we're going to take our left elbow to the outside of our right leg. We're going to inhale to raise our chest up to the sky, and exhale, we're going to twist round deeper into the twist. Inhale and exhale. Twisting is around the abdomen area is really good for abdominal strength. Inhale, exhale, and try and get your gaze to the back of to the right shoulder. Coming out of that twist and just taking a little counter twist over to the other side. We'll take the left foot to the outside of the right thigh, left arm back onto the mat, right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Inhale for the chest up to the sky. Exhale to twist twist deeper into the posture. Inhale, gaze up to the sky. Exhale, twisting over. Gaze over to the left shoulder if you can. Abdominal twists are really good for detoxification as well. And it's a great stress busting move. If you've got a few minutes to do an abdominal twist, do it. And we'll just take a little counter twist on the other side. Perfect. And let's take a seated position again. We're going to inhale our arms up. Exhale, forward, fold to wherever you can. Wherever you try. The aim is for nose onto the knee, but obviously that's not going to be the case at the minute. It's not the case for me this morning. I'm a bit tight. We're just going to take those tiny little micro movements just to deepen us into the stretch. So inhale for a tiny bit of lift, and exhale, and just trying to sink deeper into this position. Hands might be here, here, or here if you're really flexible. Mine are just here. Inhaling into the belly, and exhaling, drawing it all out. Just coming up to a seated position. We're going to just take it over into tabletop position, and we're going to take a camel pose. So coming up onto the knees, feet tucked toes tucked out. We're going to inhale. We're just going to take our arms to the hands to the base of the sky. Inhale, gaze up to the sky. Sending the chest up to the sky and the pelvis to the front of the mat. Just take some breaths here. This is a nice little back bend. Easy little back bend. And coming up to a neutral spine. We're going to take this again, but with our arms. So we're going to incorporate our arms into it. So we're going to inhale, our arms up to the sky, following the hands with our gaze, the gaze of our eyes, and we're just going to take the arms back to find the feet. So we're just opening up through the chest a little bit more now. A little bit more of an arch in the back. A little bit of a deeper back bend. Again, sending the pelvis to the front of the mat and the chest up to the sky. Sorry about that noise. It's one of the puppy. Inhale, and on the next exhale, just coming up to a neutral spine, taking it onto tabletop position, but we're just going to walk the arms out a little bit further, and we're going to take our right knee to our right wrist, and we're just going to walk that left leg back a little bit, putting the front of the foot flat onto the mat. We're going to take pigeon, so option to stay here in pigeon, just breathing into the outside of that right thigh. Or option to drop it down onto the forearms, taking the chest to the legs, just for a bit of a deeper stretch. The stretch then goes up to into the hip. Option to take the forearm onto the hands. Now, if you've never taken this stretch before, it could be quite intense in this muscle here, which is called the psoas muscle, and the outside of the hips. It's not often that you'll probably find yourself in this position, so just listen to your body and take it easy. On the next exhale, coming up to pigeon, and then we're going to lift up on that left foot. We're going to take our right foot back, coming back into tabletop. Just having a breath here, walking the arms out and taking that left knee to left ankle, taking that right foot back, dropping the foot down onto the ground. Maybe just having a few breaths here in pigeon, resting on the wrists, straight arms. Taking some nice big breaths. Option just to make it a little bit more intense, coming down onto the forearms, staying here with the chest on the legs, or resting the forehead on the backs of the arms. And just coming up back into pigeon onto the forearms. Just dropping it down onto the left side. We're going to take it down onto the mat again. Starting of the relaxing phase of our yoga class today. We're going to take the right ankle to the left knee, pulling into the outside of the thigh, pulling in the thigh as close to the body as possible, keeping the bottom of the spine flat on the mat. Inhale and exhale, just pulling it a little bit further in. Ooh, this is a great stretch. Getting that right elbow into the inside of the right knee. And when you're ready, we're just going to take it over to the left side of the mat, either keeping the right foot flat on the mat and the left leg onto the ground, or for a deeper stretch, taking that right knee to the ground. Oh, hello. And opening up through the chest, trying to get the shoulder blades onto the chest. Maybe taking the gaze over to the right hand. And just coming back up, bringing the legs up to the mat again. Got all this dirt on me. And taking the outside of the left ankle over to the right knee, grabbing the outside of the right thigh and pulling it again into the body. Ooh. Inhaling and exhaling, pulling the thigh closer into the chest. Again, getting the left elbow into the crook of that left knee. And then taking the legs over to the right side, again choosing which version feels good for you. I'm going to take it both legs onto the ground. Gaze over to the left arm. I'm going to cactus arms. Breathing into this twist. Big deep breaths. And just raising the legs up to the top. Taking one final position today, which is happy baby. And that's grabbing the outside or the inside of the feet. Pressing the spine again down flat on the mat and bringing the knees. Trying to bring the knees down to the ground. Taking big deep breaths, maybe finding stillness or maybe rolling side to side. And then just dropping the feet down onto the ground for our Savasana. Creating some space in the back by shimmying the shoulders underneath, creating some space in the armpits. Palms up to the sky, ankles relaxed onto the mat. And just start by breathing into the abdomen again, in through the nose. And exhale through the nose, drawing all of that breath out. We're just going to take a short Savasana today, but if you have the opportunity to stay here for longer, I would. Inhale and exhale. If you're staying in Savasana, stay in Savasana. If you're going to come up, just roll over to the left side really gently. And just roll up into a seated position. Rolling the shoulders back. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale, palms to the heart. Thank you for joining me today for part 2 of this beginner's yoga course. I'll post part 3 next week, and that will be a little bit more in depth of the groundwork and a longer Savasana. I hope you've enjoyed practicing. Again, if you, like I said in part 1, I would recommend to run through this episode a few more times this week, building up a little bit of strength and flexibility and becoming a little bit more comfortable with your body, maybe entering new positions that it hasn't before. So thank you for joining me again, and hopefully see you again soon. Bye.